Hi Jörg, how are you?
Well, I'm fine, and Daniel, how about you?
I'm great too, thank you. We are here at the Alpen Zoo in Innsbruck, so that means we try to do some digiscoping today.
Well, and I'm looking forward to go into the zoo, which is world famous, and I hope you will join us to learn more about digiscoping on the technical side and on the procedural side. At the end of the day, we have a very nice digiscoping picture.
So let's start.
Let's start. Join us.
Before we start with digiscoping pictures, I want to tell you something about digiscoping. It was more or less in the 90s where everything started with digital cameras. So our users put digital cameras to the end of a telescope or a binocular. And with this solution it was possible to take pictures on long distances. Nowadays we have new telescopes like ATX and STX telescopes and new adapters for SLR cameras and compact cameras, and it's much more easier now to use them and to get really excellent pictures out of it. So I think we should start with it and we should take some pictures.
Yeah, let's get started. And the first thing certainly is we just get our tripod established. And a good advice for a beginner is just level your tripod on the level on our subject, here our buffalo.
So I think we need now your camera.
Here we are. It's the latest TLS APO adapter, and we just
put it over the eyepiece.
And a good tip for the starter is just get all the things which might shake adjust properly.
We are here at the bisons now and we want to take some digiscoping pictures. I think the bisons are very good because they are not too far at the moment.
Yeah, it's a good working distance. Rule over thumb for us is working distance 20-40 meters for a starter. And the European bison is good because it's an animal with a calm character. So it's rather slow. We have enough time to exercise to make the right adjustments.
So what are now the perfect adjustments on the telescopes, on the telescope and on the camera to get really a good digiscoping picture out of it?
Well, we are working here with the latest STX 85, and therefore we start with a wide angle, so the zoom will be down to 25.
And the adjustment on the camera, as far as I know it, you get a really big focal length out of the system. So that means you have to have perfect settings on the camera. What are your recommendations on that?
Well, the shutter time is a key issue here in digiscoping, so we try to get the shortest shutter time we can receive. Our aperture is fixed, so the only thing I can adjust the shutter time is by rising or make the ISO lower. In this case we are using here an ISO of 1250, which makes, with these brown fur of the European bison, a shutter time around 1600.
And the ISO is more or less related to the camera model, I think. So as better the model is and as better the sensor is, as higher you can use the ISO.
Well, the better the sensor, the larger the sensor is, so we can raise the ISO up to 1000, 2000 even. If we have a consumer camera like here, we can work until up to 1600, I would say so. And if we are using a mirrorless system, we rather keep ourselves below 1000.
Okay, so that means we have now the settings, so I think we should take some pictures.
Yeah, let's do it. So I just get my camera, put the focal point, focus on the eye, get the eyelashes of the bison and do my picture.
We are here at the moose.
Yep.
And so we have also very good opportunities to take nice pictures from a moose. And in this case we changed from an SLR camera to system cameras. What's your opinion, or what are the main advantages for a system camera?
As the name says, it's mirrorless, so we are lacking the flapping of the mirror, so less vibration. We are still using the TLS APO adapter and just put our adjustments, start the camera and take our pictures.
And we have more or less the same settings as with the SLR camera. Related to the sensor, I think we should have a smaller ISO than before. but I think the shutter speed should be more or less the same as we had it with the SLR cameras.
The same system, so we adjust our shutter speed by adjusting the ISO. If we have a latest camera like here from Olympus, we can rise it above 1000, even 2000 would be suitable with this latest camera. Otherwise, my suggestion is rule over thumb, be around 1000 ISO.
That's great, so let's try to take a picture.
Let's go.
Yeah, we are here at the Chamois, and now we want to take some pictures with our DCP2 adapter. So instead of the TLS APO adapter, you have the opportunity to take compact cameras or to use compact cameras instead of SLR cameras. We changed also the system from the straight version to the angled version, because especially for the observer, it's sometimes a bit more comfortable to use an angled version. But you can use any adapter anyhow if it's DCP2 or if it's the TLS APO adapter. What are now the advantages, or how quick can we use this solution?
Well, it's quick as we are used to with Swarovski. I just adjust the adapter, the DCP2. Here's my compact camera, turn on the camera, and here I am in the game.
What kind of settings would you recommend when you're using a compact camera?
Well, my advice for the beginner would be use the automatic program the camera is offering you. Usually you will find a sport automatic here, which is the right combination out of open aperture and a short shutter time.
Also, when we have a sun situation like this one at the moment, it would be very good to use our sun shield here, and I think also to take the twist-in eye cup, bring it in the right position, that we have less light reflection in there.
Well, actually, Daniel, what you said in the end is these eyepiece, that's the major mistake most of the beginners do. Because the sun comes from the side and we get a blurred in the picture. So be aware of that your eyepiece is just adjusted right.
Okay, so I think we should take some pictures.
Let's go. Well, we will usually operate the system like here, just looking through the monitor, just do our adjustments, put it sharp, and we can just work by hand. But we don't have always that good light situation. So what we do then is we use the timer. Put it down to 2 seconds, put the adjustment and just press the button. Big advantage, these 2 seconds are usually short enough to get the portrait still done, and we get rid of all the vibration within our system.
Yeah, we are here at the Common Merganser, and we try to take a sharp picture now. And one of the biggest challenges at Digiscoping is to take really a sharp picture out of it. And therefore, you have quite clever tips for us, I think.
Well, the most important thing if you really want to approach a crisp Digiscoping picture is that you work on a 2-step procedures. First of all, you get your overall focal area. So you roughly know where the focal point will be. And then, Daniel, if you have done that, then you look into your viewfinder and do the final adjustment. This 2-step procedure is important because our depth of sharpness is about the thumb. And it's important to decide if the sharpness point is my nose, my eye or my ear. And the same thing with the Common Merganser. I have to decide on my final step, do I want to have the bill crispy sharp, the eye, or even the interesting tail pattern, feather pattern with the Common Merganser.
And the main advantage on digital cameras is that you can take more pictures than with normal cameras.
That's right, so we just use the serial function and I take 1 or 2 pictures in a row, and if you're really smart, you might just use a series out of picture, and in the end you choose the picture where you think the sharpness is the right one.
Yeah, and especially with this equipment now, with the big focusing ring, you have really the advantage to take pictures like this.
Well, that is honestly the Swarovski system with focal ring. That is something I really fall in love with, because the adjustment here is just perfectly smooth. And Daniel, that is something which I really appreciate with the latest Swarovski optic system is if you do this procedure, you have just the smooth focusing to do it very nicely. Hey Daniel, it was a gorgeous day. I hope you got all the information you were looking for, but what should they do if they want to have more information?
Yeah, if you want to have more information, have a look on our website, because there are a lot of informations there. And there is also the YouTube channel. A lot of videos are there with more explanations and more detailed information about digiscoping.
Well, perfect. So hope to see you on the YouTube channels or with equipment out there in a zoo or somewhere else.
Have fun, go outside in the field and take your picture.